Take up arms, Arisen. For my kind do not heed the toothless.
Hello and welcome to Dark Arisen. We start off the docks of Cassardus at night. A mysterious person awaits us. Let's go see what the trouble is.
Linger in the water of the law, and the bride may come.
You can
Just
see
as
me.
you'd expect for a fishing village.
Then you are one known to the dragon, bound within the eternal ring. I have dire need of the Arisen's strength. Please, sir, will you lend me your aid? You have my eternal thanks. You speak now to a shadow of sorts. My flesh resides elsewhere.
That's
I
odd.
would take you there now, if it please you. I ask you, is that the fate you've chosen of your own will? You are Arisen. We stand now on Bitter Black Isle, far as sea from the cove we departed. I would ask you to explore its depths.
Well, here we are. Bitter Black Isle.
Were it possible, I would not send you off with so meager an explanation. But I fear I myself do not know it better. My past, my aims in coming here, all of it is lost, as in a fog. All I know is that I, like you, was called here, and am bound to stay. I sensed you in the distance, and called to you for help. I knew somehow, as by instinct, that you could grant the wish of the one who dwells below. Just as I know my role here is to aid you in that pursuit.
This is all a bit peculiar.
I am versed in the purification of cursed artifacts. Should you in your travels find such ensorcelled objects, pray, bring them to me. The procedure requires but a few rift crystals, and it is a service I would gladly tender. I shall
Aura
aid you however
provides
I can, for therein
many
lies my
things.
own
She
path
has the
forward.
DLC store. She can change vocations, access items, as well as
Pray,
the
take
purification,
care.
as she said. However, purification requires a few thousand rift crystals most of the time. So, it's good to have a well-rented pawn if you're purifying many things, because you will run out. And like any place, we have notice board quests here. They're all a bit interesting and dark, as the tone of this area will be. But the rewards can be very good. Now, we're gonna check out the area around here, and looks like they've got a rift stone, port crystal.
The air is heavy and
Yeah.
somehow sad. Knowing a rift stone is close at
Interesting.
hand is
That
well
bed
worth
there, you can actually rest at, and it's free. The only free place to rest in the game, really. And it doesn't pass time like resting at an inn will normally do. We have a locked gate. Indeed.
Seems it won't open from this side.
Always spot the money. Yes, this place is a bit ominous. There's also lots of mining points, as you'll see. And they've got some pretty high-level ore in them. Pretty much every mining spot in Bitter Black Island is good, and
Mind the edge, Master.
you will need to mine from these points
Is
for
held
sure.
fast from the far side.
Now, one thing that's not readily apparent is that you can jump on just about all the areas out here. Some are harder to get to than others, obviously. Like that one. I don't quite make it. I think it's far easier as a caster with levitate, but oh, we move on. Oh. Ooh, that statue. That is a bit unsettling. Those eyes. And that hat. That stance. Indecipherable letters. Yes, we can't read anything on it yet. Slowly, we'll be able to decipher it as we find bits and pieces of it throughout the journey, but we have nothing so far. Down here, there's actually some chests. Yes, and plenty of water, too.
Soaked to the bone.
But there are lots of little areas to get to, little nooks and crannies in Bitter Black. Even more so than the regular game. Just always good to keep an eye out when you're traveling through here. Yeah, time to get our lantern up. And that's one thing, the lantern has to be completely away before you can put it back. Quite annoying. Luckily, there's actually a ring that you can get here that will make it so that you cannot be soaked by water. Of course, it takes up a whole accessory slot, but, you know, priorities. And there are skeletons everywhere. Oh god, that statue again. Seriously, what is that hat? It looks like the first... It looks like the Anaconda, like, Demon Lord from Berserk, almost. Strange. Well, in we go. Now, you'll notice we had a quest from the notice board to find another Arisen down here. So apparently there's at least one kicking around.
This looks interesting.
And, oh god, is that a ghost? I hate ghosts.
Heed these words, all who enter this place. Do not think. Just set one foot in front of the other, and by the Maker's love, keep swinging.
Oh, well, apparently it's just an echo. Yes, here we have some new monsters. They look a bit like hyenas. I'm not positive on their name, but they are pretty much diseased wolves. Their bites will poison. I don't know who she's talking about. These wolves are a step above the direwolves, but not quite on the level of Hellhound. So they still stagger you pretty easily. The poison is an annoyance, and they're a little bit tougher than regular direwolves, but I'm just glad they're not Hellhounds. Because seriously, just goddamn Hellhounds. Nightmares. Yeah, one thing about Bitter Black Island, they will shoot rift crystals at you, and they will shoot very high-end curatives at you as well. Plenty of stuff to find, and those are interesting. Yeah, so we've got a mummy. Damn. There's also dead bodies everywhere. You'll also find, like, in the Everfall, you'll find, wake shards. Wakestone shards and wake stones. And you will need them. That much is certain. Grabbing the lion's butt. Huh. Lumpy statues. Yes, ride that butt. Oh. Not a pleasant sight. Well. You gotta remember to always keep an eye open. Because, well, there's a doorway.
What's this?
Let's see what we got in the courtyard. Hobgoblins. Just hobgoblins? Oh man, this is a dream come true. They are truly pathetic. They couldn't threaten us. Let's give them some presents. Come on. God damn. The angle's all wrong. Yeah, let's get them. Oh yeah, feels good. Let's go. Let's go down and mess up their pizza faces. Oh shit. Queer shadow indeed. Yeah, that's a bit shocking. Yeah, this is definitely unnerving. I'm not even scratching him. Oh god, he's casting something. I believe that's a giant sleep spell. I also like how the hobgoblins run away from death. But, hey, he's gone. Well, I guess he nailed the hobgoblin and called it a day. Now let's clean them up. Now that the death is gone, they all come back out of the woodwork at us. But they're no match, obviously. Well, looks like we're in the clear. Let's scour it for items. Now, one thing I did is I upped it to hard mode. Because, well, we can't go and have an easy time of it, can we? No. We must experience ultimate suffering. Now, this is the regular path down to that area. We took a bit of a shortcut. Face first, off the balcony. But normally you're supposed to walk down this snake-filled corridor. And another echo.
This place is host only to those with some tie to the worm.
Leave this place. You've still the time to turn back. Still the time to live.
No way. Another cool thing, there's lots of really cool vistas, though they are all dark for the most part. Chests everywhere. I think I hear some goblins too. Oh, I'm sure we'll find them. And lions too. Lions everywhere. Saw them on the wall. The statues, the fountains. Yeah. Interesting. Oh. I thought that was a doorway. In some cases it is, but not this one. Yeah, here we have the ore everywhere. Come on. Yeah, that's right. Alluvial Yore ore. I believe that's only accessible at the Blue Moon Tower harvest point in the main game. Otherwise, that's the only place you can find it, is here and that one spot. Oh, and we found them. What? Bullshit. Did you hear that? Disrespect. Thank God they're just so weak. Makes you feel like a tough guy. Oh, yeah. A little crack in the wall, and there's a chest. Novice's coat. Wonderful. Just what I wanted. I also noticed the music is really rockin'. All the combat music in Dark Arisen just get like cranked up. It's really cool. So I'll be blasting it, of course. Oh god, a room full of spiders. Wonderful.
Does someone live here?
Oh, looks like a couple of someone's live here. They all got 8 legs. God, there's a little mid-tier up here.
What's that?
Let's see what we can find. Yeah, so many little platforming crevices to find on this island. And in some cases, you have to find them if you're doing one of the notice board quests. You've really got to go out of your way to find all of them. Let's see where this leads, though. Hey. Huh. We walked right by it. Interesting. What are you doing, Mr. Satan? Now let's make the jump. Hell yeah. Oh god, all this gear we're finding is garbage. But, what's this? A macabre sculpture. These are the items that I was just speaking of.
Let's have a look at that.
There are, I believe, 32 of them. And they are hidden in mostly out-of-the-way areas. So you gotta keep an eye open if you want to get them all. And if you get them all, you get a fairly good item. I can't quite remember. I remember grabbing them all. That was, but I can't remember if it's a certain piece of equipment. Either way, I think it's pretty good. We'll find out. But for now, I think we've pretty much cleared this place out. Time to move on. You know, we've collected all the junk our hearts could ever want. Oh, this place is like a mix of the catacombs and something else. Castle or a temple or something. The architecture is a bit odd. here, we find another out-of-the-way spot. And there is our first piece of cursed gear that will need to be purificated by Aura. Novelty items are typically not that good. They're typically consumable items, so they're not even really worth your time most of the time. They can be pretty good though. I mean, they're all higher level ones, but still. There are 4 different tiers. Oh wait, we got an echo.
What greater curse than immortality? What crueler torment than to live in this place devoid of all but despair?
I guess he's got a point. But there are 4 tiers, or 4 different kinds of cursed gear. Weapons, armor, gear, and novelty.
Welcome, good Arisen. 3 days this one. A week, perhaps. A favourite game of mine, guessing the lifespan of those who enter these halls. Nothing personal, mind. And rest easy, friend. 3 score guesses here now have yet to hit the mark once.
Ugh, looks like such a goon. That long greasy hair and the mustache. And his fucking knives trying to look cool. Shit. This is Barak. And this is a really cool looking place. I believe it's called Dark Moon Tower, opposed to Blue Moon Tower. Nice.
Someone's looking for me. Then this pit is home to stranger folk than even I'd imagined. An honest mistake, most like. I've been down here half an age, and not once have I known anyone to come calling. Now, will you have a look? I'll see you don't regret it.
Barak can rarefy items. And rarefication is the tiers above Dragonforged. Silver and gold. And you can only rarefy items that have already been Dragonforged. So you need to make sure you Dragonforge all the things you need. He also sells some pretty high level equipment, if you'll see the price tag on those. Yeah, $1.5 million. But it's all very good endgame items.
Wouldn't it be?
Not the best,
No,
but
will you
still
have a
very
look?
high tier.
I'll see you don't regret it.
He also lets you learn and set skills
No
and
dying now.
access your storage as well. You'll find him throughout occasionally. He moves around.
This place is full to the gills with scraps and materials unseen in the world I knew outside. An alchemist's paradise, this. The smithy's work I do is a product of endless hours, trial and error. But it's time I don't begrudge. My little obsession's half the reason for my wanderings. Could be. The other half is running into strange ones like you, friend. Now, will you have a look?
God, just wait till you see
No
his
dying now.
40k collection he's put up. He's managed to scrape together
You've
down
been
here.
hearing voices since coming to this place, friend. Echoes of the dead, those. Even the least of them what's fallen here was an Arisen in a former life. Seems their wills were too strong to end with the body, and so they remain. Obstinate things. It's a blessing they do more than just grumble and grouse. I'd go mad. Now, will you have a look? No dying.
Well, that's interesting. Every corpse we've come up to has been in Arisen.
Work, friend. Why not leave it to him and busy yourself with staying alive? I'm not the sort to take directions, besides. I go where I please. We seem alike in that. Now, will you have a look? I'll see you.
Well, we found our person,
No
so
dying.
let's get our Korean word out of the way.
My kind grows better able to serve.
Yes,
the more
wonderful,
we learn.
Mr. Satan. It's
Helping
saram.
others is I'm not... No,
Person.
will you? No.
Yes, yes. Well, let's explore a bit. That's where we came from. Now, this area has crows, rabbits, deer, snakes, spiders, out the wazoo. It's very easy to finish any notice board quests that you have for those right here. Very easy. So it's always a good idea to come here if you need to do those quests in quick order. There's also some really good collectibles down here. Like kingwarish, potent greenwarish, other herbs lying around.
'Tis too sturdy a door to
And
force.
this, yes, these are the Moonbeam Gem doors. There's a number of them all over this one area. You'll find Moonbeam Gems as you move through Bitterblack Isle, and you need to make decisions as to which doors you want to open. Pretty much, it was initially trial and error, pretty much, but the chests always contain the same loot, so you just gotta really consider which door you want to open first. Like, there's some with powerful weapons, some with good armor. One of them contains the ring that keeps you from getting wet. So it's all, which one do you want the most? And figuring that out. There's also lift stones down here. Now, fairy stones work regularly in Grand Soren, but they do not work in Bitterblack Isle. To go back up to the entrance of Bitterblack Isle, you have to use a lift stone. And I don't think they can be purchased. I'm not positive on that, but they throw enough at you to make me think that that's the only way you can get them. You can't just buy a bunch. So, if you go way deep down and you're out of lift stones, you're out of luck too. Unless you can find one. Here, the deer come right to us. Damn. Well. God. Yeah, every skeleton was an Arisen. Something to consider. There have been quite a few that came before. The Eternal Ring. And it looks like this door is locked, yeah. Seems we need a void key. Yes, of course, a void key. It's so obvious. Now, that door that is locked is the way down to the main, further down. There are two branching paths here, but first, let's do some more climbing. And there's just stuff all over this place. And plenty of Moonbeam Gem doors. And really creepy music. Alright, some gear. Gear is mainly accessories. I think it's almost always accessories. Rings. And the rings that you can find here can be ones that give you bonuses to resistances, like silence or sleep, stuff like that. And they can be random combinations with random levels of effectiveness. And then there's skill rings, which are the really good ones. Oh, and there's Macabre Sculpture again. The skill rings amplify whatever skill they have, and they can have one skill on it that they bump up, 2, and maybe 3? I think it's mainly 2 though. I think 2 is the limit. I'm not sure though. But this puts them up to the 3rd level of that skill. And that is primo. You want those really bad. Because they crank your skills up. And they get really freaking cool. However, it's hard to get rings for the class you want. And even harder to get rings for the skills you want. So, a bit of a grind. But hey, once you get those rings, well, yeah, shit gets cool. And up here we find the spiders and snakes. Yeah, quite a bit.
What's that?
And over there we have another doorway. But
I wonder what's inside.
that's for next time. Ah. Lame. Yeah, let's move on. More moonbeam doors. Oh well. Well, let's call it there. Next time, we go further down.